the daytime as well. Bloody heck, now these guys are airborne in the daytime as well as the night. Ah, this is where the maids are. Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed here, and we've returned back to Abigail, Scarlet, and the... No, Abigail Fortune and the Scarlet, there you go, sorry. And everywhere is swarming with doppelganger maids. So let's try and proceed through here without any interruption. Now let's just check these books first, since this place is unattended by enemies. Nothing new here. Pile of books. So yeah, everywhere on the northeast side, north and northeast of the entire game is swarming with these maids and fairies. So the plan has gone underway and it's not great. So you think there's nothing to find there? So yeah, there are slower maids, which are presumably the undead ones, and the faster ones are just ones with the Tommy guns. That's how I can differentiate. Don't attack me, don't attack me, don't attack me. And these guys. So yeah, the ones with the green around their necks, they're the more undead versions. Because of how slow they move. The fairy's gone, I know. You try to put the key into the lock, but it doesn't fit. It seems the door the key fits into is hidden. Right. So we have a Ditmar house key. Tiny key too. Tiny key. Yeah, Albert room key. Key to Albert room's room in Ditmar mansion. Wallet. Lots of fake IDs. Town map. Yeah. No idea. No idea how to proceed with that one, actually. So there must be something else either here or in the mansion. If not, then I have no idea where to look. So you're saying there's a hidden access point? Does it include the right side, actually? Oh, don't tell me it's the right side. Out of ideas. Okay, let's see what we can find. Okay. Yeah, let's see what we can find in here. Dining room. Unsure. Leaves are still of an unnatural bright green. Large mansion garden. Is there anything hidden within the depths of this place? The wall feels weird here. There's a hidden door here. Enter the door? Most certainly. So we couldn't find anything in the mansion. So therefore, this will be our only viable option to go from at this point. And also done a bit of farming as well with the crazy maids. Miss Fortune? Yeah. I was just thinking, the person who wrote that journal we found, do you think that Monica personally kept mentioning is my grandmother? Probably, actually. And sounds like things didn't end up well for her. Right, but I'm more worried about the fact that grandfather is supposedly invincible. If we do have to take him on, do we even have a chance at winning? And why has my grandfather's servants started to turn into wads of flesh? They're supposed to be immortal too. And that voice we heard earlier is worrisome too. Worrisome with an I rather than a Y. Okay kids, calm down. You're gonna get grey hairs from worrying too much. Honestly, if I get out of town with the treasure, I'll be more than satisfied. You aren't curious about all this. Well, it's not my job to solve the mysteries of some little town in the middle of nowhere. My job is to, well, steal the fairy. You consider being a thief a job? Duh. Alright then. Listen, once all this is over, you're going to leave town, right? Obviously. Why? Well, nothing much. Miss Fortune, do you have a place? A place where you feel like you belong there? Well, unless Cynthia's arms count as one, the only place I belong to in the world is World of Thievery, sorry. If that makes any sense. I guess. Sorry, I kind of stretched this out. Let's go. Yeah, let's get going. But where is this place? In a deeper mansion. A bed. The frame looks like it's seen better days. I wonder what happened there then. A drawer. Another drawer. What the hell is this here? A stand with strange carvings. Examine more closely? Most certainly. What's this? It looks like an altar. These markings are the same as the ones as in the notebook we found in Grandfather's room. So it must be. Damn it, where's Dietmar? He must have the statue. I don't know. It's usually taken there by the host, but... well, if it's not here or the main display, leaves only one option. Huh. You. I see you've made it rather far. In the end, it looks like I have to do this myself. Grandfather? Franz, what a stupid child. Well, at least you'll finally be useful to me. And you, Miss Fortune, we are finally meeting face to face, free of your disguises. Says the old fart who's been hiding more than anyone else around. Well, life is full of surprises, isn't it? But enough of this. I have something to do, and you can help me by giving me your lives. Lives, huh? Just like that Monica woman? Miss Fortune? She was your lover or something, right? So why'd she have to die? Or better yet, be turned into an army of some blanked up dolls? Was it for your own sick pleasure? Someone like you could never understand. I loved Monica so much, but she used me. If I hadn't taken care of her, I would have... everything would have... But these Monicas, they love me like she should have. She's mine, nobody else's. Okay, this guy has officially crossed the line of sanity. We have to beat him up either way. Is that going to be possible, though? That's the question. Let's leave a burn on him. And that. Well, I expected a bit more out of you, but obviously that's not going to be the case. I do question the sanity of this music, though. Is it original? Now we go with a high attack but high chances of missing. Good. You may attack, but you're not going to be able to survive for much longer, Albert. $65. Yep. The burn is there for a good reason. Serves as additional attack power. No damage, okay. Yeah. It has that risk of not doing anything. And you fall down. 100 experience. You doing okay, kid? Yeah, Grandfather's tougher than I thought. Futile, you feeble idiots. Did you really think you could kill me? What, looks like he really is immortal. Can we even beat him? You petty little things. Do you honestly think you stood a chance? I will give you some credit for the effort, but this will be the end for you. Now let me... What? What's going on here? Dietmar. Dietmar. Streeb... whatever it's called. What? So you're Monica. That must have been Monica. What was that? Who the hell cares? Did it live inside the crystal? Who knows? Well, looks like that's the end of that. I expect you to take care of the rest. Are you leaving? Why would I stay? I only came here for the fairy and I managed to blow it up. Besides, there's a dead man right in front of us. Who do you think will get blamed for that? Too bad. Since this all started out pretty fun. But, sorry kid. In all honesty, I hope to God we won't find each other again in this life. For the sake of everything. Bad End 3. Unsalvageable. So, when it comes to these endings, it has to do with the torn up notes that you find across the game. And I believe they probably take place in different days of the game as well. So, Bad End 3. 4 endings. 3 bad endings and a true ending. So, you might have to... There might be 3 notes to click to get the true ending. Got 2 of the notes, so that's the 3rd bad ending. Bad ending 2, 1 of them. And bad ending 1 would be absolutely no notes at all. So in this save file, we got ourselves absolutely nothing. So that's a good point for us to start off and then keep going through the game until we get to a point where we can get to all of the endings. In this playthrough, I've got none of the notes which I should have gotten to have one of the other endings, but we're going to proceed through each ending now. And we're just going to cover anything that's different in the playthrough, depending on how many notes you've got. Because when you get all 3 of them, some of the dialogue in the sewer does change. Yeah, there's so much we don't know about the power of the fairy, about those women who served my grandfather, and about that person who seemingly attacked us. I guess. But in all honesty, it doesn't really concern me. My job is to steal, not to solve mysteries. That doesn't sound like much of a job. Oh, I'm a self-employed. Oh, okay then. Listen, once all is over, you're going to leave town, right? Obviously. Why? Well, nothing much. Miss Fortune, do you have a place where you feel like you belong there? Well, unless Cynthia's arms count as one, the only place I belong to is the world of thievery. If that makes any sense, I guess. So, I kind of stretched out there. Let's go. Indeed, let's go. Looks like an altar. These markings are the same as the ones as in the notebook we found in Grandfather's room. So it can't be any good. Damn it. Where's the statue? Have they already taken it to the festival site? I don't know. It's usually taken there by the host, but... Well, if it's not here or the main display, that leaves us only one option. You. Him again. Yep. We certainly do. Yeah, you can say that, little old man. Full of surprises. Yep. Maybe in all honesty, the worst ending is the first bad ending, which involves our lives being taken, for goodness sakes. Just gonna go all out with this. Noble Leafwing. You think that's gonna help you though? I don't think so. Counteract that. Oh, I forgot our defense is down as well. Well played, dear sir. Need to do both then. Yep, let's counteract that. You're gonna do that, aren't you? Can you keep doing that? Ouch. He's gonna keep counteracting that noble leaf wing, for goodness sakes. Dark. Seems a lot stronger this time around, I'm not gonna lie. Still blinded. Seems like the worst ending is the stronger this guy is. Maybe he was just really lucky in the first time around. Good. 100 experience received. You doing okay, kid? Mostly I cut my palm open, but I'm fine. Grandfather's tough enough than I thought. Futile, you feeble idiots. Did you really think you could kill me? Okay, what the hell? He's practically immortal. You underestimate my power, Fortune. As long as the fairy is by my side, nothing could kill me. Time to put you to... What? No! What the... Oh my god. You alright, kid? Kid? Are you okay? You took what he had. Don't be afraid. Let it envelop you. Let it turn you into something great. Something above simple humanity. Now become the master the Scarlet Fairy deserves. Yes. That certainly is a bad ending. Kid? Kid, seriously, answer me. I don't think that's right for you to say. There's nothing to worry about, Miss Fortune. I feel better than ever. Then what the hell did you space out like that for? Wait, his hand is right all of a sudden. It can't be. Yeah. Franz, what have you done? Nothing much. I just realized this is what I was destined for. To be like your grandpappy. Yep. You're a threat. Don't get ahead of yourself. I have decided to become what I've destined to. Can you understand that? Yeah. You're better than this. Give me the statue. You don't seem to understand. I've finally been accepted, and no one can take that from me. Not even you. Now, I have an event to attend to. Try not to ruin it for us. Yep, that's going to be the case. Damn it, not like this. Sin. Quite the bad ending indeed. The fairy circle. The first bad ending. Obviously, as we go through the game, we notice that there are subtle hints towards what we can do in the future. But in this case, in the first part of the game where we go into the mansion for the first time, you may go into the dining room yourselves and find yourself a sparkling thing. Now, this is essential to progress onto other parts of the game, because without this bronze brooch or anything else that leads on to this, the chain of events that happens later on with these journals will never appear. So it's like you have to get everything in order to actually get everything in the first place. So from that, we need to look in here and then use the brooch to open the small box. And then after opening the small box, you get yourself a wonderful tiny key. And of course the tiny key is on to the next step. After you got the tiny key by using the bronze brooch, then you'll need to go to the library and use the tiny key on one of these books. Amongst all the regular books there's a smaller book with a tiny lock on the cover. Seems like the key you have is just the right size. Try opening the book with the key most certainly. Many of the pages have been torn or ripped out, but a part of the book seems to be intact. You know that by the third one, when it gives that information, you'll know why these have all been scattered about the place. 25th of May 1970 blank. 1974. I came back to town for the first time in a few years. It feels weird coming back after all this time. After blank's death and dad's death. No, disappear. Okay. But townspeople are calmer these days, what with the incident over. It seems the mistress disappeared around the time blank did. So I went to Ditmar's mansion to ask about things, but when I went to visit, I couldn't believe my eyes. The mansion is full of new workers, who all looks identical to my sister. The hair, the face, the eyes, the body shape, it was her. They were all her. I tried talking to them, but none of them seems to recognize me. I almost tried asking Albert for answers, but he avoided my questions and refused to answer. While it also seems their son as well, he doesn't seem to remember his own mother. I was unable before, but somebody, he did something to Monica. I need to look into this further. I can't make out all of the dotted text, but that's fine, because that all leads us into day 2. So with day 2, once you get out of bed, obviously, you can talk to a receptionist down here and... excuse me, but that book you have, may I have a look at it? My, it is the same book. A few decades back when I was still young, a man came over and left this book in a ring here. I eventually lost the book, but the ring I've kept to this day. What, you want to have it? I suppose you can have it. Thank you very much. And this golden ring, you need to talk to a particular museum employee twice in order for them to have the ring itself, but we'll be right back, of course. Before we give the golden ring to the museum employee, I forgot to show you the bad ending too when you only have one piece of a torn journal. Yes, there's also a hidden door here. Mysteries to answer, answers to obtain. Miss Fortune, yeah. I was just thinking, the person who wrote that journal we found, who do you think that person they kept mentioning was? That Monica. I think that Monica was something to old man Albert. Maybe either lover or wife. Wife? No one has ever mentioned grandfather owning a wife. Then again, someone needed to be a mother to my father. But if it is weird no one has ever mentioned her. Or that I haven't found any evidence of her existing. Why would they not say anything? And there are lots of things we don't know either. Like how my grandfather's employees all supposedly look like that Monica person. And the mysterious voice we heard earlier. I guess, but I'm not particularly interested in solving mysteries. My job here is to steal the treasure. Anything else is just extra. Job? Yeah, I'm self-employed. It's awesome. Wow. Listen, once all of this is over, you're going to leave town, right? Obviously. Why? Well, nothing much. Miss Fortune, do you have a place where you feel like you belong there? Well, yeah, the only place I belong to is World of Thievery, if that makes any sense. Fantasies of your loved ones. Okay, let's just interact with the statue and get this done and over with. What's this? It looks like an altar. These markings, yep. Where's the statue? Have they already taken it to the festival site? I don't know, it's usually taken there by the host, but... well, if it's not here or main display, that leaves only one option. Good, you're confused. With your power, you're sure to give yourself a lot of damage. Right, you don't even damage yourself. How disheartening. God, that was a perfect battle. I'm not gonna lie. That was the perfect battle. And they seem least bruised up in the first band ending. Doing okay yet? Yeah. Grandfather was tougher than I thought. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. How utterly conceited. Struggle all you want, but where you will end up will be no different. Now let me... What? Dietmar. It seemed like the third band ending. I'm not gonna lie. What the hell? Is he dead? Grandfather. What the hell is that? Ah, this is different. Dietmar. That voice, is that the unknown person? And you get down to like that? Kid, snap out of it! Franz! Franz! Sheesh. I need to run. You do. I'm sorry. Retribution. That seemed... No, actually, you know what? That's not as bad as the first band. We're back here. And we've got ourselves a lovely, lovely... golden ring. I almost forgot that it was under armor rather than key items where I thought it might be. Okay, so... has a carving saying to my Monica 1972 on the inside. So, a ring of some sorts. What kind of ring? So you finally met Mr. Dietmar. What do you think of him? He has amazing charisma, doesn't he? But I suppose you will never appreciate him like we do. We have dedicated our whole existence to him. He is our love, our entire world. I wonder why we feel this way. This feeling has always been with us. It's as if it's carved into our very souls. Show her the ring. What is it? That ring. Tears are forming in her eyes yet. Why do I feel so? I apologize, but that ring, seeing it fills me with overwhelming nostalgia. Sorry. I apologize for that, but I feel like I should thank you. Oh, perhaps. Please have this. Another tiny key. I have had this key for quite some time. For some reason I have not been able to give it up. But you can have it now. Maybe it will become useful to you. And it shall be. In this portion of the map we can actually crack 2 eggs with 1 pellet. Okay. So basically what we need to do is, now that we've got ourselves the second tiny key, we can unlock the second piece of the torn journal while we're here. Looking closely, there's a locked box in a shelf. The tiny key can probably fit the lock. Try to fit the key into the lock? Most certainly. Most of the pages have been torn out again. The handwriting is very shaky. 1st of June 1974. I found out this secret. The reason all of the stuff at the mansion look like Monica is because of the fairy. They're all copies. Created from something by manipulating the fairy's magic. This seems to confirm my suspicions that somebody is dead. I feel so angry, I feel so sick, I can barely write. I will never forgive Dietmar. I'll never forgive him. He killed blank and turned her into a doll. I cannot take this anymore. Anytime I see one of those women, I want that man dead. I want to okay. End this town's curse. 3rd of June 1974. This cannot be happening. I think I've discovered the fairy's greatest secret. If someone gives their blood to the statue, its power will make them effectively immortal. Unfortunately, I found out this after trying to stab Dietmar to death. No matter how hard I stabbed him, no matter where and how many times, he kept getting back up, like nothing had ever happened. It seems this applies to those women too. Please. Monica doesn't deserve this. This town doesn't even deserve this. I need to have this ended. Got the second torn journal. Okay, so you probably did not notice beforehand, but there might be a sparkle here. There's something in between the books. Okay, we've got a silver necklace, but this is something which I'm not sure of. The lamp is dusty. There's something hanging from it, but the lamp is too hot to touch. Basically, we need to read this book. What is all this? It seems like magic ritual things. It looks like Albert was studying magic, at least based on what he's drawn. What kind of magic? I have no idea. You don't? Listen, I'm not exactly a native German speaker. This stuff is pretty technical, and the handwriting is abysmal. But I don't know. It seems like you would know. I just act like I know everything. There's a big difference. Let's see what else we can find. The pages after the open spread are full of writing. My darling, mine must find a way. She will never die. This is something. What on earth? I think we should leave right now. Maybe we should find old man Albert. But where do we go? We'll think of that once we're out of the house. Okay. Yeah, definitely need to go. Okay, so now that the candles are out, we can investigate the lamp once again. There's something hanging from the lamp. So technically from this, we've gotten ourselves 2 silver necklaces. 2. But we only need 1, but when I was playing through this beforehand, I got 2. Not in my recorded, but when I was setting these save files up. 2 silver necklaces. But the objective would only need 1, but the game has 2. Anyone can fathom that one out, I would be thoroughly appreciated. But, I don't know, it just doesn't seem correct in some way. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that because I was looking at a walkthrough on Tumblr, and then I was going through the game and thinking, well, there's a silver necklace on the left pile of books, and then there's a necklace on the candles on the right, but only after you've interacted with that book in the middle about magic. So there we go. So technically you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone there with that room. You can get the second torn journal piece and the silver necklace while you are in here. Okay. So let us now move on to the next step. After parting with Franz in chapter 4 within the library, well, just after the library, you're going to want to go to the cafe where you usually go to buy items, but this time around, this lovely lady who serves behind the bar is going to say this. My, look what we have here. The fact that you have a necklace shows me you are close to finding the truth of this place. Now, this is the one thing I did not notice after leaving Franz for the first time in the game, dialogue wise, but close to finding the truth of this place. The person before you wanted all of this town to know everything, but I think you can imagine who stopped him in his tracks. You must be frustrated with all this running around, but convulsion diverts those who are just curious with nothing but personal gain in mind. Take this. Okay, so we've got a paper scrap. The last book you need is very close. Specifically, the one we need is within our own very room. So room 101, and it's on this desk here. But beforehand, I'm going to show you what the paper scrap says. It just has a 4 on it. But when we looked through both Torn Journal 1 and Torn Journal 2, they both had a number missing from them. It just says 1970 blank. This is the missing key. The paper scrap is the missing key. So you rat at the top desktop and notice there's a space inside. There's a book with a combination lock on it. So yeah, we're just going to write 1974. The lock opened, and this is probably where about half the story comes into play. Half the story of the entire game. 23rd of June 1974. So that is 20 days after the ending of the second piece of Torn Journal. I've managed to avoid capture for almost 3 weeks now, but I fear my time is up. For whoever may find this journal, I shall teach you the greatest hidden truth of this wretched town. The Scarlet Fairy is powered by the soul of a long-dead witch. For centuries, the witch's power has been abused by the Dittmar family and her soul tortured over their endless acts of violence and aggression. The Dittmars have been killing each other for the power of immortality for hundreds of years, and the spirit of the witch has slowly corrupted due to the cruelty she's been the center of. I've also found out Dittmar developed a blood spell in which he feeds the fairy the blood and the soul of a victim to keep her under control. It seems my sister was the first to die in this ritual. The sister being Monica. I'm so tired. It's only a matter of time before Dittmar finds me and kills me. He knows I know more than I should, so he'll try to stop me. However, I found an ally or two to hide my journals and leave some clues you've probably already found. But I can't let them know too much or I'll get killed too. So whoever finds this journal from Dittmar Mansion and reads it, please tell everyone the truth. If you cannot do that, give my journals to those who will. My sister died because Albert Dittmar wants to live forever. Countless others have died because of Dittmar, because the Dittmars wanted something so vain as eternal life. I don't care how the townspeople react. I don't care if they revolt against him, deny the truth, or don't care one bit. I want them to know. I want to make their own decision. My name is Gerald Blouse. My sister was called Monica. Monica Blouse. She was a wife, and the mother of a boy called Thomas. She was killed and turned into Albert Dittmar's personal doll. Please put her to rest. So the embodiment that keeps coming out from Albert Dittmar in the second and third bad ending, I believe, is Monica. She is literally that fairy that is inside. The writing ends there. There's a photo in between the last pages. Or it could even be the witch as well, but it could be incarnated into Monica, well, the original Monica. There's a photo in between the last pages. So Gerald, Monica and Dad 1970. And the old photo. But there's another photo we got as well in the process. So another photo found from inside the old journal titled A Happy Family 1973. And that is Monica and Albert. Probably a younger version of Albert. But then again, with the white hair, you can't really tell if he's just immortal and he doesn't age at all. Then why didn't he choose immortality when he had coloured hair? If he had coloured hair, that's the big question. But now we're just going to process through the game and get to some different dialogue. Oh, that's right. I found another journal. You did? And from the looks of it, it's the last one. Take a read. So this is my grandmother, apparently. This is all pretty heavy. Grandfather. Surprise, surprise. The old man is a killer after all. So, what do you want to do now? I don't know. I just want to rest. But I'll know what to do tomorrow. Same. Good night, kiddo. Both confused. That is super almighty. Home run you both to the ground. Ah, fighting amongst yourselves. How noble. Like the undead of your selfishness will take you, along with your master. Just like that. Is she saying we have to fight her too? In any case, maybe we should move. I don't feel like fighting tonight. I see. You have reached the complete truth. But will that be enough? I am a king. The absolute monarchy of immortality. And you are just conceited children compared to the likes of me. But if you want to challenge me nonetheless, I have every intention to defend my birthright. Of course, that is the perspective of Albert Dittmar. Now, what I would consider the most important ending of the game, because it is literally the canon true ending to Scarlet... No, I keep getting this name wrong of this game. Abigail Fortune, the Scarlet Fairy. I should be able to notice because it's literally right in front of me. Keep going through here. Miss Fortune? Yeah. Sorry, it's just, I was thinking about the journals we found. It's just a lot to think about, I suppose. The secret behind the fairy was a real heavy one. And I suppose the corruption of the spirit inside will explain the weird fairies and Dittmar's goons falling apart. Right, but there's a lot I don't even know now. I don't know even now, and it makes me worried. Kid, if you keep worrying like that, you'll give me grey hairs. If you want to find out all the answers, we have only one choice. To face Grandfather. Yep, but Grandfather is supposedly immortal. If we have to face him, how are we going to even match him? Yeah, but he's immortal. He'll be huge before we can do any significant damage. Then talk him out of it. I don't think he'll listen to us. Threaten, extort, and bribe. Are you even taking this seriously? You say that like that's something I do. You're insufferable, Miss Fortune. Well, thanks. But joking aside, if you want to find all the answers, we have to face Dittmar. Sure, I'm kind of curious too, but I just want to get my job done. Your job? To steal the crystal. What else? Is that really a job? If you consider it self-employment, it is. Still have something in your mind? Well, it's nothing. Let's go. That's a good call right there. Very good call. A stand with carvings. Examine more closely. What's this? It looks like an altar. These markings are the same as the ones as in the notebook we found in Grandfather's room. So this must be for the rituals mentioned in that journal. Damn it. Where's the statue? Does Dittmar have it? Probably. It can't be at the festival site yet. Well, we're already as far as we can go. I know you're here, so come out already. How impertinent. Don't know why you stepped backwards for. Grandfather, have you been following us? You found out too much to not keep an eye on. In the end, it looks like I have to do this myself. Grandfather, Franz, despite knowing the truth, you still side with that woman. You certainly are no true Dittmar. The truth that the power of the fairy is from the true tortured soul of an innocent person. If anyone has had to suffer for the sake of that power, I don't want it. How short-sighted. You want to reject all this power, this privilege bestowed upon the Dittmar family. You make me sick. Not that I would expect anything from the son of an outside tramp. How dare! I only took you and your mother in because I believed you'd be some use to me. But Sarah became too curious, just like you now. But unlike you, she ran away when things became too dangerous for herself. She up and selfishly left, trying to convince herself it was to protect her equally worthless son. Well, such a tramp was not worthy of the fairy's protection anyway. Oh, shut your mouth. More people have suffered because of that damn crystal that benefited from it. And that woman, Monica. You used your own damn wife in some ritual and turned her into some personal army. What do you think you know? If a ritual is left underperformed, the fairy will grow out of control. The fairy starts appearing and the healing power becomes unstable. But if we satisfy her lust for blood, we can appease that corrupted spirit for a time. Monica's spirit just happened to meet my needs at the time. But she is a woman I love, so how could I ever give her up? Still, I was surprised the fairy could rebuild her entire body after all that. Not to mention multiple bodies from nothing but partial bits and pieces. Truly, the fairy is a miracle bestowed upon us. You're gross as hell. I've only met the two of you, but I'm already sick of your bloodline. No offense, kid. I don't expect you to understand, woman. This power is intoxicatingly incredible. Resisting it would be against the very nature of this family's name. Well, I don't need it. Why have people had to suffer for a power like this? It's just nothing but wrong, grandfather. You have to stop this. Oi, kid. Ridiculous. You sound exactly like your father. What? Thomas. He came back here a few years ago, when you still lived outside. He said things exactly like you have right now. Like he was any better than me. What? What are you? I ended his troublesome life. He had already betrayed me. No, us all by leaving and marrying some tramp from the outside. And then he came back to play the righteous man and even attempted to destroy the fairy. Do you know what I do with people like that, boy? They become sacrifices, because it's the only thing those miserable rats are good for. Your father, Monica, even you, if you dare betray me, the only thing you're good for is dying and becoming sacrifices. People like you deserve it. No, I should have known you could never amount to anything. Okay. I'm getting tired of your rubbish, so I decided to end your blanky one-side dialogue. What? People like you are so stuck in their ways that they don't even realize how screwed up their entire world is. And people like you ought to be taught a good long lesson with some good old ass kicking. And besides, that power doesn't suit you at all. So your precious fairy will be mine. How conceited, woman. How utterly conceited. Who the hell do you think you are? Why, let me tell you. I am Abigail Fortune. World's most wanted phantom thief. And I am here to steal your greatest treasure. Kids, get ready. Yes. This truly is the final battle. Burn and confuse. Failed in the... Okay, we failed both. But your attack power seems less than it was in the other endings. Okay, you're confused, that's good. And you're burnt, excellent. Suffer damage and you attack yourself, supposedly. You can amount to nothing, but even though you don't damage yourself with confusion. Yeah. Both of these attacks have a high chance of missing, but their damage power is so nice that I just have to use them. Just make the chance of knocking you out a bit more likely. There we go. You won. Abigail's... Okay, it doesn't matter about that. Phew. You doing okay, kid? Yeah. Grandfather's tougher than I thought. Rah! Yeah. Did you really think you could kill me? No. Can we even beat him? Let's just take the fairy and run. It's not like he can chase us forever. But we're both exhausted. We won't be able to run far either. How utterly conceited. Struggle all you want, but where you will end up will be no different. Now let me... Yeah, you're not... That's not gonna work. You are the sacrifice now. Dietmar. Street. What it means? Whatever that means. What the? Bewitcher. The Scarlet Fairy. You're in German. Is that who I think it is? Actually, it probably is. The Scarlet Fairy? We come in peace. Are you serious right now? Looks like we can't talk our way out of this. No, don't get shaken your boots, kid. You want a savior, don't you? I do. All those centuries trapped in a place like this. All that pain, hatred, despair and malice. The fairy. The real fairy doesn't deserve any of it. So I will save her no matter what. If that's what you do, if that's what you want to do, then I won't stop you. I have a plan that may work, but we have to fight her a little to make our odds as good as we can. Just don't get killed in the meanwhile, alright? Yes, same goes for you. Now let's go. I'm glad our HP is recovered. Alright. Same strategy as before. No damage. Okay, you got burnt. That's okay. Okay. And then I'm going to perform Masquerade on you. Okay, you're confused. That's excellent. Doesn't do anything. Yes. Supplements. Don't know how much stronger this character is compared to Albert. I'm pretty sure she's much stronger. But you hurt yourself, which is excellent. You have no self-control of your power, though. 213 damage! That's excellent self-damage to yourself, lovely. Nice. You won. Has it calmed down? This is our chance. Here we go. This better work. What is awaiting now? Oh. The fairy herself. I think the healer's mask worked. What? Ah. Who are you? You can speak properly now? Just a minute ago you spoke in some weird odd German. I see. My mind still feels a bit strange. I feel as if I've slept for a long time. Excuse me. Oh, are you with Dietmar? What? Yes, I am. Oh, I knew it. I can feel your blood is that of a Dietmar's. My destiny is deeply entwined with theirs, you see. So, are you the Scarlet Fairy? Yes. My, that name is so incredibly nostalgic. Well now. Never would I have thought that beneath that mangled shell there'd be a pure white maiden. You are truly peculiar. Who in the world are you? Maybe we should start with you. You have a name, don't you? Something more human than Scarlet Fairy. Haha. You are indeed strange. Yet kind in your selfish way. I know, I will answer. I am Ezidai... what do you want to call that? I am the slender healer of the court of Van Dietmar. I am in your grace. Well then, Els. Would you mind if I steal me away? So a thief skillful enough has finally arrived to take me. I'm sorry, my thief, but I cannot let you take me. Huh? You must understand. My entire life and death I dedicated to my ability to heal. When the Count moved his estate to this village due to his son's worsening illnesses, he discovered me, a poor peasant girl, living in the middle of a dead valley, struggling to just survive. But who could miraculously cure almost any injury and relieve any illness? Finally, I can use my powers for the sake of someone else. The Count adopted me into his court, and I spent all my days by his son's side. But soon, an illness started plaguing my own body. When I realized it spread faster than I could heal it, I became frightened. Before I knew, I had to keep healing, because my abilities are all I am worth. Even when my limbs and face rotted around me, even when it took all I had just to stay alive, even when the Count sealed my blood and soul in a crystal, I still had worth, a motive to exist. I did not care if my heart would break in the process. So you don't want to leave? But isn't it a sad fate to remain in a crystal for the rest of time, stuck in a place like this alone? Nonetheless, that's just my duty. As long as I remain here, the people here will stay healthy and happy. All I want is for them is to be happy. And you're giving them a false sense of security, huh? All they're doing is passively float along the stream of life and worship the ghost of some little girl. A life is not worth living without hardships and excitement. Only after having a hard time, you can know joy at its truest form. But with you around, all these people just stay in this valley for the entirety of their lives without any hardships, not really living. Oh? Is my existence a hindrance to them? The thing is, they themselves don't realize it. If they lost their little protector tonight, they'd probably hate me for it. But the rest of the world will love me anyway. So who cares about some... Okay, backwards German village. Truly, you are incredibly peculiar. What? The ritual the Count used to seal me away was highly imperfect. He was no mage or wizard himself, after all. If I became powerful enough, the moment I lost my desire to stay here, I could break free. And because I have nothing to hold me back here anymore, I suppose you're right. The Count. There are so many I wish to see again. There are so many I need to face as well. But before I leave, please tell me, my dearest thief, who are you? I am Abigail Fortune, the world's greatest gentleman thief. Abigail Fortune. Abigail, my thief, I am so glad to have met you. Thank you. Wait. Thank you so much for everything you've done for this place. You are very kind, young Dietmar. Remember to never let go. It's over. What? Looks like the excitement overwhelmed the poor kid. Wait. Oh man, Dietmar. Franz? Franz? Huh? What's... Oh, are you feeling alright? Can you stand? I think so. What happened? We're not sure. The journalist woman brought you here, all passed out. She said something had happened to your grandfather and couldn't find him anymore. So anywhere. She brought the fairy with her too, but we haven't seen her since then. Oh, where is it? In that box which you are holding. Oh, right. Got the statue box. Was it all a dream? But if it wasn't, why is grandfather... The fairest opening ceremony is supposedly to start any minute, but Albert is nowhere to be seen. I know it's sudden, but could you possibly stand in for him? Oh, I can try. Let me just get ready. Alright, talk to that lady detective when you're ready. Yay, now we can play on behalf of Franz. Oh, lovely Franz. I'll go up here then. Detective... New detective lady. Cynthia? Oh, which one? Oh, you. Ah, you finally awoken up. I was informed you could perform the opening speech on your grandfather's behalf. But am I ready? Yeah, I think so. Yes, good. Take the box with you and we can start as well. Alright. May I have everyone's attention, please? My name is Franz Dietmar. I will be performing the opening speech on behalf of my grandfather, who cannot attend due to personal circumstances. That being said, I don't have a speech prepared myself. Let's see. During the course of this week, a lot has happened here. Most of you probably know of Abigail Fortune's, the famous thief's arrival. To be fair, she's probably the reason most of you came here. But I have learned many things about this town just during this 1 week. It's a little difficult for me to explain, but this week had made me understand this town a little better, I suppose. In any case, I'll keep this short and end the speech here. I'll welcome you all to Rotberg and hope you can have fun at the festival. Now I just have to take this. Now I just have to take out the statue and. What? Huh? Is something wrong? What? This is one of the marble decorations of our living room. Are you kidding me? Could it be? Everyone, get moving. We need to find Fortune right now. Ladies and gentlemen. Are you having fun on this fine evening? Yeah. Fortune, you son of a... Oh my. Did you miss me? Not one bit. Oh honey, don't say that. I'm not your honey. Fortune, wow. Well, Pops, be careful, yeah? You wouldn't want to break this. The statue. Now hold your horses. Listen up, people of Rotberg. From this moment onwards, your Scarlet Fairy is mine. Thus, I would like to congratulate you on your newly found freedom. You no longer have a single excuse to stay cooped up in a place like this for the rest of your lives. What's the fun in that anyways? This false sense of security has deceived you for long enough. And that is your true greatest treasure. And with the Scarlet Fairy, I have stolen that from you too. Franz. Huh? I'll leave the rest to you. Adele. See you later, Pops and Cynthia. Damn it, we can't let her get away. Chase her, don't let her leave your sights. And that is the tale of that. Finally, it's mine. Miss Fortune? Is that a shed of tear? What? Franz? Thank you. I'll never forget you. Take care. Looks like you're gonna do just fine. Good riddance, Rotberg. And that, without a shadow of doubt, is the end to this game. I find it very nice. It was very, very magical in its own little ways. The story itself is quite cryptic in some places, but in other times, the story is quite simple. Once you piece together all the evidence that you can find within the game, then you can start to tell that this Albert person is not a nice gentleman that he seemed to be at first sight. Go through the game and you know that he's there, but the first sign, I believe, that when you can see that Albert is not the kind gentleman is when you talk to him about light butterflies. Because when we interviewed Albert Dittmar, the first sign of Albert Dittmar looking a bit, sinister, is when he opens his eye, and that eye is red. Because you notice throughout beforehand that his eyes were closed, but when his eye opens, it's red. And red is never usually a good sign to see within a human being's eye. But yeah, thank you very much for playing. Well, thank you very much for making this game, developers of Abigail Fortune and Scarlet Fairy. This is a lovely game. Oh, thank you very much, Team Fortune 2017. Or is it just the year that you put out this game? I'm not too sure. Team Fortune nonetheless, thank you very much for making this game. I had a ton of fun playing through this game. And I would say the only criticism I would have for this game is that there's not really much of an option for players to get money within early parts of the game. The end, thank you for playing. In the end, Albert Dittmar was found sitting in his office, slumbered over his desk unmoving. The doctors in town concluded he died of natural causes due to his old age and lack of any evidence of foul play. His stuff from the museum in the Dittmar estate also disappeared overnight, as if they had never even existed. The townspeople arranged a grand funeral for him to pay respects and to end the era of the Dittmar family for good. With the fairy now gone, the towns began to modernize little by little. Need for new services brings need for more new services, and soon Rotberg too will be no different from any other countryside town in southern Germany. How dull. But Dittmar boy. He's probably just a normal high school student these days. He was probably reunited with his mother too, but frankly, who cares about that? The only thing I want to know is what is next in the plans of her. Will this be a teaser for the next game? The next heist. Told you you'd hear from me in a few months. No, thanks to you. You gave Cynthia and Pops info about my plans before I'd even started. I blank hate you. Okay, anyway, could you dig up some info for me? A possible next target. I just feel like I'm on a roll, okay? And besides, the Rotberg thing was to make up for the summer heist. Azure Dreams. Azure Dreams. That's all I currently have. Find the rest, and you can help me out. What? You desire my help with this? Well, having a sidekick wouldn't hurt, and I hear you've been short on jobs lately, so why not join me in the action? I hear it's on in Paris anyway. Alright, why not? I'll call you once I know more of this Azure Dreams. See you in a few months, Fortune. See you in a few months. Maria. To be continued. I thought there was going to be another game. Bonus room. Okay. Okay, so worldwide notice, wanted by Interpol, Abigail Fortune, okay, family name unknown, full name unknown, approximately 160 to 170 centimeters, date of birth unknown, place of birth unknown, language spoken, English, French, Japanese, German. Okay, so that could also be hint towards other game after this Azure Dreams transpires. Maybe one in England and then the last one in Japan, or vice versa. Offences: grand larceny, second degree aggravated assault, wanted by Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, China, Finland, France, India, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Mexico, New Zealand, Nigeria, Peru, Romania, Russia, South America, Sweden, United Kingdom, United States, and the Vatican State. Franz Dittmar. Albert Dittmar's grandson, a very timid boy who dislikes attention he gets and tries to direct it away from himself as much as he can, and thus doesn't have any friends. Is surprisingly smart and level-headed, but also a very emotional young man. Age 16 under 2015, April 27, 1999, 165 centimeters, German. Family, mother, grandfather, deceased father. Eeks. Cynthia Maysfield, an inspector for Interpol and one of the people in charge of the Fortune unit of the Magical Crimes Department. East anger and always highly determined. Takes her work extremely seriously. And the fairy. Full name and age 13 upon death. Birthday probably in the 1500s. 50 centimeters. No family. Oh, that's very dull. Nationality German. The soul within the statue, originally a poor peasant, she was adopted by Count von Dittmar when her powers as a healer witch were revealed. Before she was killed by a disease that was slowly rotting her body, her soul and some of her blood were transferred into a crystal statue, but bound her to the mortal world. Has a great sense of responsibility. Can understand that. Character detail: Neil Morgan. Neil James Morgan, Chief Inspector of Interpol and the boss of Inspector Maysfield of the Fortune Unit, prideful, handsome, and a member of a rich, highly regarded family of majors, physically extremely fit. Moved to London to pursue a career in the ICPO. And Albert Dittmar, evil in his own right. Albert Gottfried Dittmar. June 30th, height 181 centimeters, age 163. So yeah, that's a sign of immortality for him. Son deceased, grandson, wife deceased. The mayor of the valley town of Rothberg and the uncontested leader of his people, cunning, vicious, and willing to sacrifice anything for his own satisfaction and happiness, he dedicated his life to the Scarlet Fairy. And indeed, his own right. Chapter 1-2 Gallery. Okay, so this is all the different images that we saw throughout the entirety of the game. And indeed, were some of them truly miraculous in their own right. 3-4. Indeed. And chapter 5. True ending. Stone. Abigail. Nothing of that. Indeed, this is all good. Okay, we didn't show any of the bad endings to do. Creator comments. Read about the various things behind the creation of the game and Abigail herself. Abigail's creation. Abigail's earliest incarnation was created back in May 2013 when the Touhou game Hopeless Masquerade came out. Inspired a new character Hato no Kokuro. I created a character who used various masks. The character conceived was called Abigail Fortune. Abigail Fortune, an investigative journal blogger who travelled the world in search of supernatural incidences. She had a collection of magical masks she had inherited from her adventurer grandmother, and used them to investigate said incidences. Unfortunately, the character was abandoned because I couldn't use her anywhere. However, at the end of 2014, I needed protagonists for my newly conceived game project. Thus, with a redesign and change of premise, Ariel became a gentleman thief named Abigail. Her final name was actually chosen from a friend's suggestion. Good on ya. It's a nice name. Games creation. Back during Christmas 2014, I'd recently played through the demo of Pumpkin Panic, a game in development by a single person. The game was incredibly good looking, and inspired by my experience, I decided to make my own RPG Maker game. Also, at the time, I had been watching a lot of Green Jack Lupin 3, and I had received the first series of box set of Christmas, so the idea of a game about a gentleman phantom thief came naturally. Ooh. So no, it wasn't Persona 5, unfortunately. Yeah, a game that's only been out for a few months. Development eventually began on RPG Maker VX8. Okay, I'm not gonna read that part. Okay, I eventually made the switch to MV because the possibility to easily port my game to Mac and the larger game window size was conceiving enough. I support the software this time because the giving me trouble. Remember, because pirated software is a bad omen. A bad omen. Don't pirate. Always buy. Abigail inspirations. While the initial inspiration behind the creation of Abigail was, other inspirations behind her include Lupin 3, Bayonetta, Nathan Drake, and Theobald Leonhardt from Leet. I love another brilliant game. I think the last one is most apparent in some design choices, maybe. I also didn't want Abigail to be like most other female thieves, who tend to follow the seductive cat burglary trope. Yeah, this one didn't really do that. More masks over anything, which I think is a very good option. Also a very creative option because you can think of so many different mask varieties. So she became outgoing, adventurous, mischievous, showy, loud, somewhat foul-mouthed, combat thirsty, and most importantly, a blank in a nice guy's clothes, more of a Lupin 3-like thief. Of course, she's still feminine and very stylish, but I find she mixes of character types that makes her feel a bit different from what I'm used to seeing. Good. Anything else? The Scarlet Fairy inspirations. Yes, I think a great deal of SF was inspired by The Witch's House, lovely game, and the first Leet game, lovely game. Oh, The Witch's House takes me back. The idea of a fairy being a witch with rotten lips never became from Alina, yes. And even her first design had her completely limbless, with only bloody stumps remaining in her corrupted form. However, after a few conversations with friends, I ended up changing her design, and somehow she ended up looking even more terrifying with the bloody rotting arms and legs, maybe. The idea for a small, isolated town came from Leet 1. Actually, yes, because Leet 1's town is definitely an isolated place within its own universe. Along with some ideas from Abigail's design, her initial design, which still exists online, had white fur on her coat, like Theo did in Leet 1. Yep. However, I had no memory of where the butterfly motifo came from. I suppose it came to me naturally. Bonus fact, originally Elise and Albert were supposed to share some skills, but I realised the way they use the same power as well as their people are quite different, so the idea was abandoned. Okay, playtesting stories. When it came time to playtest the game, I enlisted help of my friend Fulin to play through the game and help me find bugs. Turned out she was perfect for finding the weirdest bugs. While most of the bugs and errors we found were just collision errors on tires, wrong portraits and other typos, there were some that were exceptional. During the first day, we came across a disastrous bug that would crash the game whenever you pressed Z. Literally, every single time at random times. After 1.5 hours, remaking the distribution package half a dozen times and uploading the zip file into 2 separate cloud sites like 7 times, it turned out the name of an image file in the game's folders had the wrong kind of dash symbol. I was actually ready to give in at that point. Another story is about the cutscene in Chapter 2 where Albert walks into the lounge towards Abigail. Apparently I had selected the wrong set of graphics to be loaded for Albert, and they just happened to be his Chapter 5 graphics. However, because of how the individual sprite images are arranged on the image file, the walking animation that ensued looks like Albert was dying repeatedly and dragging himself across the floor. Apparently Fulham got a good laugh out of that one, and I never got to see the damn bug myself, god damn it. Lovely. It's always lovely seeing creators' comments because you can see some of the backstory behind the game's creation and some of the funny insights into it if they actually put it on. Interested in more AF? Check out the Before the Red comic at Fusoloid at HEO/Abigail Fortune Before the Red. Okay, I shall do that. Encyclopedia is read about the various weapons used by characters and about common enemies. Abigail's masks. Mask of Ophelia. A mask with an eternal smile plasters upon it, made during the Italian Renaissance in the image of the Muse of Comedy. The mask was owned by a rich family in New Zealand until the late 1950s. The mask was eventually stolen, but was rediscovered in 2010 as experts recognized Abigail Fortune's trademark mask at the long-lost artifact. The power of the mask gathers and focuses power on the hands and feet of the wearer, granting them incredible strength and agility. From Abigail Fortune, it has been observed that the mask power can even be used to soften falls from up to 100 feet. Mask of Venus. A mask made in the image of a morning star during the golden age of alchemy. The power of a mask douses the wearer's hands in a non-material corrosive substance similar to sulfuric acid. The mask power can be used to melt away most things such as flesh, the ground, and even nearly all metals. Many inexperienced mages have burned themselves badly or even accidentally corroded away massive parts of their bodies in their inability to control the mask power over the course of history. In the early 1930s, the mask was purchased by an American collector, but eventually disappeared in the mid-1970s, only to resurface in the early 2010s with Abigail Fortune. Mask Healer. A centuries-old plague doctor mask, which gained the power to heal after being used by a healer witch for decades on end. One who could control the power of a mask can heal most physical injuries, from cuts to broken bones and even nearly severed limbs. It's a shame you couldn't use it on Alina's severed limbs. However, the mask cannot be used to regrow removed organs. Yeah, because you can't heal something which is not there. The mask was held in a private museum in France for decades until it was stolen during the early 60s. The Mask and Sword of Sol Invictus. A jewel set consisting of a mask and a sword made in tribute to an ancient sun god. Because they are set The sword can only be truly wielded when wearing the mask. Without the mask, the sword is nothing more than a heavy, dull pile of metal and essentially worthless. Properly used, however, the sword is an extremely sharp blade that can reach temperatures as high as the surface of the sun. If only if it was the center of the sun. I'm joking. That's just like millions of times hotter, probably. The set spent decades in a museum in Italy before being stolen by a thief known as Lady Luck in the late 60s. The set eventually resurfaced in the hands of Abigail Fortune in the late 2010. Other weapons. The gauntlets of Astribe and Brunette. Weapon of choice for Chief Inspector Neil Morgan. A pair of massive marble gauntlets made in honor of him. I'm trying to figure out who Neil Morgan was. Okay, this is a bit more worthy. Oh, Neil Morgan was the Karma detective. Common enemies. The Lit Fly. A seemingly light-based being creature by Albert Dittmar manipulating the power of the Scarlet Fairy. These beings are meant as primary foils to those who pose a threat to the Dittmar family of the fairy, however they're not too powerful. The bloody versions, literally corrupted by the spirit within the Scarlet Fairy statue. These beings are not controlled by Albert Dittmar and will attack anyone without discrimination. The manifestation of these beings can be prevented for a certain amount of time, but they will start emerging again if the bloodlust of a corrupted spirit is not kept in check. The Dittmar Goons. Clones of the deceased Monica Dittmar made by manipulating the power of the Scarlet Fairy. These clones do not have the memories of the original woman, but their personalities and emotions are easily manipulated by Albert Dittmar himself. They are affected by the fairy's power similarly to Albert Dittmar, meaning they will keep standing even if their major organs are heavily damaged. However, these clones are not truly alive, and are more comparable to high-functioning zombies who don't crave for flesh. The Breaths. Dittmar goons are made corrupted by the spirit within the Scarlet Fairy statue. These beings have broken minds and function purely on instinct, and pieces of memory from the original Monica Dittmar awaken from primal emotion. Also, due to the corruption of the fairy's power, the bodies of these clones cannot keep themselves together properly, slowly falling apart and losing most high-level thinking functions. These clones are also highly aggressive, attacking any person in close proximity and even using their broken bodies to attack people. And that is it for that motto. And what have we got to say? Hi and welcome to the bonus room. Since you beat the game all the way through, this will be your Bonafide prize. You can find character profiles, art galleries and other cool stuff. What about the door? Warning. The following bonus room will contain bonus material related to the bad endings of the game. If you haven't experienced the endings for yourself or want to avoid spoilers, don't enter. I shall enter because I've already experienced the endings themselves. Wait, where's the third one? Where's my third ending? Maybe that's not even necessary. You have a young heir of Albert Dittmar, his mind taken over by corrupted power of the Scarlet Fairy and spirits before him, a soul free of remorse, compassion, and weakness. The Scarlet Fairy, for which her spirit corrupted by years of malice and blood sacrifice from the Dittmar family, while her healing power still works to an extent, her power is warped and generates flesh monsters that attack any person. She herself is consumed by an all-encompassing bloodlust and desire for revenge. Great. Bad ending 1, gallery. Yes. Like that. But the thing is, what was his head targeted by? Because literally a crosshead on his head, but there was nothing of it. Yeah, you know about that. And this one, bad ending 2. And then bad ending 3. And that's how that goes down up there. So bad ending 3, definitely the least bad ending of them all, but still the ending where our beloved thief did not get her prize. Return to the title screen, thank you very much. So that is Abigail Fortune and the Scarlet Fairy. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I have, folks. And we shall see each other's in whatever Azure Dreams shall present itself as. Have a good day and take care of yourselves.